Welcome back to the Creative Differences Podcast. I'm Dallas, aka Deadwood Dick, and I'm Lightning with the Blam Blams.
Yay.
I'm Colin, and so are you officially going into porn? Was that announcement? Because I don't think I would use Deadwood if that's what you're going for.
If that was going to be a porn name.
Yeah, that feels like, okay, someone needs to maybe get some Cialis or something.
Yeah, that would not be a great porn.
No.
I'm Demi, and I'm mostly here so that Dallas has someone to talk to. Welcome to another episode of the Creative Differences Podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Fancast Fridays, Throwback Thursdays, and a number of other pop culture-related items. Today, once again, we are missing Gabby. No. Today, we are doing a review for Last Night in Soho and The Harder They Fall.
Yes. I'm so excited. But before we get into my excitement, please like this episode, share it, subscribe it, rate it on whatever little thing you're listening on, so we can get famous and I can meet Regina King one day. That's my goal now. It was already my goal, but
It's a good goal.
A bigger goal.
I like that goal.
Thank you. I do too.
So let's start. Last Night in Soho. Dallas, you're the one who saw it because you're our horror expert on the podcast.
Yes, I am. All my friends are cowards. Colin wanted to see it because Colin is a closeted horror fan, but then he just didn't. So
I heard that this movie is a straight up horror film.
Which is interesting because, well, first, let me do the thing I did. Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright. You know him. He made the Cornetto trilogy, Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Baby Driver.
Yes, Demi loves Baby Driver. I loved everything I just named. I like Baby Driver. Edgar Wright is dope. It's written by Edgar and Christy Wilson Cairns, who wrote 1917. So shout out to her. I didn't watch that movie.
Range.
But yeah, right? It stars Thomasin McKenzie, Anya Taylor-Joy, Matt Smith, Terrence Stamp, and Michael Ajao. I hope I said your name right, sir. You were dope. The IMDb summary is an aspiring fashion designer is mysteriously able to enter the 1960s, where she encounters a dazzling wannabe singer. But the glamour is not all it appears to be, and the dreams of the past start to crack and splinter into something dark. All right, so.
Interesting. Like that. I like that.
Right. Colin, did you like my summary read? Your face is reacting.
It's like, your read was good.
No, thank you.
That summary to me is, I think, see, it's interesting because this is like the other end of the spectrum. Because one end of the IMDb spectrum is like, a man exists in a world. And it's like, well, that doesn't tell me anything. And then this one I feel like is a little too poetic.
It's interesting, yeah, because we're like, recently we've been talking about how they've been getting more boring. And I feel like someone at IMDb is spying on us.
I think
they're like, oh, y'all don't like that? All right, I'm going to show y'all niggas.
I think what's happening is that the big, blockbuster tentpoles have like very, very vague summaries, but the movies that aren't as big, like Last Night in Soho,
right?
They get better summaries that are more poetic and more interesting.
True. This episode does not have a huge audience. We don't have a huge audience in general, but Last Night in Soho isn't like a huge movie, and The Harder They Fall isn't even out yet. It comes out on Netflix. It was in theaters for a couple weeks where Demi and I saw it.
Yeah.
And it was dope. But it is a Netflix movie, so most of you probably have not seen it. But you should.
This is a first.
Yeah. Look at us being insiders. What was I talking about? Last Night in Soho. So Demi, you said you heard it's a straight up horror film,
I
right?
did. Last night I heard it's a straight up horror film.
Yes. So I was watching it, and for the first half of the movie, I was thinking, Colin could have handled this. This ain't even scary. And then, like, Edgar Wright started wilding, like, halfway through the movie. But it was so long into it that I started to think, have I been tricked? I came in for a horror movie. This isn't really a horror movie, it doesn't feel like. And then, ghosts and stuff started showing up. And the first half is scary in the way that, like, it's scary to be a woman in society.
But so, like, the way that Get Out is scary because it's scary to be black in America.
Kind of, not even, like, Get Out, because Get Out is, like, yeah, racism is scary and white people are scary, but also the stuff happening is outside the norm for racism. So it's kind of like the first half is scary, like that scene in Blind Spotting where the cop car pulls up to Colin.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah. And that's scary, but not like Us or Get Out is scary. But then we get the actual like ghosts and all that stuff. But it's good. It's dope. Edgar Wright is good at everything. His visual style, I've always noticed, it's very apparent. Scott Pilgrim, the Cornetto movies. He has the zooms and the like impactful shots and everything. And I've always thought that would be really good in a horror movie. And his style definitely works for a horror movie. It works for comedy. It works for action. It works for everything because he's really good at everything.
I have one question.
What's up?
How is Thomasin McKenzie in this movie? Because I really love her in Jojo Rabbit. and I really want to support her career, but this is a horror movie. I'm sorry, Thomason, I can't do it.
Thomason's dope. Her character Ellie is like just so sweet. You want to protect her at all costs.
Good.
And so is John, played by Michael Ajao. On that note, I want to say shout out to Teresa. I saw this movie with Teresa.
Yes.
And I haven't seen a movie with Teresa in years. And
Aww.
I forgot how vocal she is. She reacts to everything like she's the only one in the room. And it's so funny because the amount of times Teresa said, "Oh," or "Oh no," "Oh my God." I was just like laughing. But then after the movie, I turned to her. I was like, I forgot how like vocally expressive you are during movies. And she started busting off laughing. You know how Teresa has that laugh. It's so great.
Yeah.
I
But
miss
yeah,
Teresa.
we love you. We miss you. Yeah, Thomason is dope. It felt weird because how old is her character in Jojo Rabbit?
Teenage girl, 15, 16 maybe.
Okay. And she still looks about 16.
Yeah.
But the actress, Thomason is 21. Her character is at least college age. I think it's her first year of college. But stuff is happening, and I'm just seeing the little girl from Jojo Rabbit, and I'm like, I don't like this. Because there's a parallel between her and Sandy, Anya Taylor-Joy's character. Anya Taylor-Joy is clearly an adult, and she's getting into some adult things. And there are shots where it's funny because I was saying that this is one of those movies that makes me wish that you, Demi, watch horror movies.
Yeah.
Because some of the filmmaking stuff, I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like the first night, she has this little Anya Taylor-Joy dream. She's kind of in her shoes, and there's certain shots where they switch it. So there's a dance scene with her and Matt Smith, and you know it's the 60s, so they do the like twirl you, swing you, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he'll like twirl her off screen, and Thomas and McKenzie will come back, and then go off screen, and then Anya Taylor-Joy will come back.
Nice.
And then it's Anya Taylor-Joy running around, but in every reflection we see Thomas and McKenzie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it starts off super, noticeable. Like there's a huge wall of mirrors, and it's like, oh look, Thomas and McKenzie is like in her sweatpants, and she's the reflection of Anya Taylor-Joy in her beautiful pink dress. But then even the ones that are more like background, like you're running through the bar, and then there's a mirror on the bar, and it's still Thomason. So it's like the detail that they went through to make this stuff work. Chef's kiss. Edgar, you did it, my nigga. Yeah, the scares were good. Visually, it's the ghost, like the design.
Yeah.
Is real spooky. It's like a blank face. That's where I got to like, oh no, Colin, no, can't watch this. Demi cannot watch this. But it's good. The story is well written. I assume Miss Cairns writes well. I heard 1927 is good.
1917.
What did I say, 1927?
Yes.
It's all the same.
Only 10
Old
years
times.
off.
Yeah,
Wildly different time periods, but
I was going to say,
10
yeah.
years. It's fine.
Well, I mean,
1917.
one of them
It's
is
a
a
war.
world war,
Yeah.
and one
It's
of them
not
is
that-
not.
Yeah.
So
Fair. But like, I know she writes well because I saw this movie, but I'm saying like, I assume people who saw that movie are already aware of how well she writes.
Oh, okay.
And I was already aware of how well Edgar Wright writes
Directs.
and directs. It's good. I feel like I didn't love it as much as I want to. Like
I'm hearing that
his-
from a lot of people.
Yeah,
It's-
I feel like his other movies are like top tier for me.
Yeah.
And this one is definitely good. But in my mind, I thought horror movies. I love those. Edgar Wright. I love that. So you put them together, it's going to be like the best thing ever. I've seen horror movies that I like better. I've seen Edgar Wright movies that I like better. So this isn't my favorite of either category, but it is good.
Yeah, it's this one's coming out pretty divisive from what I'm seeing on Twitter.
Oh, is it?
I'm seeing some people who love it, and I'm seeing some people who don't think it's that great.
Interesting. Like everyone I've heard said they like it, which, I do. But, me saying that an Edgar Wright movie is very good as opposed to amazing. It's like,
It's relative.
yeah, it's not a slight. Like, dude still did his thing. It's just not my favorite Edgar Wright movie. But if he wants to make another horror movie, I'm definitely down for it. But yeah, good performances, good horror. One thing I noticed is that Edgar Wright clearly really loves music. And that's something
Yes.
that we knew from Baby Driver. Something else that's exemplified in Baby Driver is that Edgar Wright and I clearly like different music. But the songs are used well, whether I really enjoy them or not. So it's like these songs don't hit for me in the way that The Harder They Fall soundtrack hits for me.
Yeah.
But he still uses music very well narratively. And he does great things with visuals, lights, zooms, spooky people.
Yeah,
All that
I
stuff.
just want to say that opening song on Baby Driver that song slaps.
And it works super well for the scene. Yeah, he does that super well. He ties his music to his narrative in a way that I think he's one of the best directors when it comes to that. But yeah, shout out to everyone involved. It's very good. Anya Taylor-Joy is great. Her singing that song Downtown was like mesmerizing.
Nice.
Okay, I rock with you, Anya. Do your thing. Thomason, she carried the movie. I knew she would.
good.
I mean, I didn't know I didn't see Jojo Rabbit, so I was like, I assume you're a good actress. People say you are,
She's great.
and she proved it.
Yeah, she delivered my favorite line in Jojo Rabbit. So.
Yeah, I remember you saying that one. But yeah, good movie. I rock with it. Go watch it if you can handle scary stuff.
Next up, The Harder They Fall.
Oh my God. Okay. The Harder They Fall. Directed by James Samuel, a.k.a. The Bullets. He's a British singer, songwriter, music producer, and now amazing film director. This is his feature film debut, which, oh my God, what a way to start. It's written by James and Boaz Yakin, who directed Remember the Titans, one of my favorite movies ever. So shout out to you. You also wrote Now You See Me and a bunch of other stuff. I still don't know how to correctly say your name, sir. I'm sorry. Boaz?
I think it's Boaz.
I don't know. We did this we had the episode.
We do this every episode we mention him.
We didn't know how to say it. We still don't. It stars so many dope black actors. Jonathan Majors, Regina King, Idris Elba, Zazie Beetz, Delroy Lindo, Dianco, RJ Kyler?
I think it's Siler.
RJ Siler.
Don't take my word for it, but I'm pretty sure it's Siler.
Gathegi. I looked up how to say your name in an interview, and the white dude who said it like that, so if he was wrong, blame him, not me. I already said Zazie and Regina. So yeah, IMDb summary is, when an outlaw discovers his enemy is being released from prison, he reunites his gang to seek revenge in this Western. That one's more of the straightforward, this is what happens, this is who's in it. We're not going to give you any flowery language. All right, Demi, what'd you think of the movie?
I really liked it. I had a great time watching this movie. I know it's coming out on Netflix, but I have to say, I feel like the experience would not have been the same had I watched it on Netflix.
No.
Oh, man. The audience reaction was great.
I love it.
But yeah, this feels like one of those movies where the cast is phenomenal. And I'm not a huge Western. I can't say I'm not a huge Western fan. I haven't watched a lot of Westerns, so I really don't have too much of an opinion on the genre itself. But yeah, this feels like one of those things where the cast is so good that it wouldn't have mattered what the story was within this genre. I probably would have just really enjoyed myself anyway.
Fair. It's so good. So yes, Demi and I saw this movie, and then the next night I saw it again.
Oh, you
at
did?
The same theater.
Nice.
Sitting in pretty much the same seats. It's so good. I love this movie. This is now my favorite movie of the year so far. We're at, when this stuff comes out, just after Halloween, so
Oh yeah, happy Halloween, guys. Hope you guys had a good one.
Yeah, hope it was spooky. Did you watch something scary? Tell
I
us
didn't.
About it. I know you guys. But
all right, you didn't have to say it like that.
Listen, I watched Halloween Town.
I was gonna say cowards.
Got some Hocus Pocus in there, some Nightmare Before Christmas. We good.
That's spooky. That counts. That counts. Colin, you watch anything spooky?
I mean, I don't know. I might end up watching Midnight Mass. That's spooky.
Oh, true. That works. I rescind what I said about you being a coward.
Well, I'm still a coward. No, I'm gonna.
He acknowledges. He's self-aware.
Like in the way you're like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like you'll go through it.
Yeah.
And deal with it.
Hate it every second, but I'll do it.
But,
me this month when Resident Evil comes out. Anyway.
Yes.
Harder They Fall.
It's so good. I love it so much. There are so many things that I want to say. I want to talk about what you said about Westerns because I'm just adding Westerns to that list of things that black people just do so much better. We got horror movies already now. We got so many things. And then this Western comes out. Like you, I'm not going to say I'm not a huge fan of Westerns, but it's not my favorite genre. And I have seen a lot. Because I took a film history class in high school, and we had a Western section. And it was just so much sand and Caucasians and poor portrayal.
I think I've only watched The Searchers and the most recent, The Magnificent Seven.
I've seen both of those. I like The Magnificent Seven a lot. The old one and the new one. Apparently James Samuel is a big Western fan. Regina King is not. So when her agent told her, this guy's super talented, you gotta meet him, he's making this Western, she was like, Western. But then she talked to him. And as she puts it, he could sell you a pair of shoes that's 2 sizes too big.
Oh my goodness. She's also one of the best parts of this movie. It's so hard to say that though, because the entire cast is so good.
They're all so good. And Kayla and I have been having nonstop conversations. Well, who's your favorite character? I don't know. I gotta give you a top 3, maybe top 5. And
that's most of the movie.
Exactly. And then I feel bad for leaving out people I left out.
Yeah. I really love the characters in this movie. They're a lot of fun. And even the bad guys, we were talking about this after we got out of the movie. The bad guys in the movie, it's so hard to be I don't like these people. Because the movie doesn't shy away from how awful they are.
Right.
But the cast who's playing them,
they're so good.
Are so good that
they're
it's just
so good.
I want to like you. I really do.
Yeah.
But I also know you're evil.
Yeah, I can't Especially like Idris Elba.
Man, is
Oh my God.
amazing.
He's so good. His character is so menacing without having to do much.
Yes.
Because he has this gang with him.
He has a
and
presence.
He has a presence, and all he needs to do is look at them. And that's one thing I noticed and I loved, and I even heard James Samuel talk about because I've been listening to interviews nonstop, which is how you know how much I love this movie because I don't even do that. He talks about how in sync they are and how they don't need to speak to each other.
Yeah.
Rufus will look at Cherokee Bill, and Cherokee knows it's time to clap somebody up. Like, Cherokee will put his hand behind his back, and Trudy knows, hand me the knife. Same with Rufus, hand me the gun. Like, they rarely need to say, hey, can you do this? It's just, I look at you, you know what time it is, get busy. And that's so dope.
Which is funny because in comparison to Nat Love's gang, who consistently are not agreeing or on the
They're
same
not
page
on the same page
about
Like,
anything.
Nat wants to do this, and Mary is going to do her side thing.
RJ Seiler's character is out here just
Jim Beckworth is trying to cause all kind of trouble, and he's going to do it on the day. Like, not even tell you what the plan is.
No,
He just,
no,
when we
no.
get there, oh, this is it. This is the plan. And that's like, yo, nigga, what are you doing?
He's so charming too.
I love him. RJ Seiler's amazing. This movie made me like him even more.
And the story, like, I feel like the story is just a very easy to follow story. It's a story of vengeance. You guys know how stories of vengeance go.
Especially with Westerns.
And that's why I think, like, it didn't matter what the story was. These characters are so interesting that they lift up the story and make it a lot better because I'm having a fun time watching these characters, and I'm also emotionally invested in these characters. And I think that James Samuels does a great job of setting up the story in the beginning and making it pay off in the end.
Yeah. And then that end, like the way it ends, the story gets elevated even by itself. Like, beyond just how good the characters are, the story itself becomes, oh, snap, that's crazy. One thing, this movie it's a feminist masterpiece because they talk a lot about Mary and Trudy. Yeah. And one thing Regina King says is Mary doesn't need Nat. Nat needs Mary.
Absolutely.
And Trudy doesn't really need Rufus. Rufus needs Trudy. That's just so important. Like, there's one line that Nat says to Mary that I jokingly told Kayla I'm gonna start saying to her. When she says her plan, and he says, Mary, what in my character tells you that I would allow that? And when he said it, I thought, I'm starting saying that to my wife because she's going to hate it. And then I thought, what in her character makes you think you can say that to her? Like, you think Mary's going to be like, oh, my bad, dog. You right. Like, you right. No, she was like, nigga, I'll work for you. Like, that's not the dialogue, but you get what I'm saying. Zazie amazing. Her eyes are so intense. She acts with her eyes.
The way her hair is fabulous as always.
Oh, man. Every time I see her, like, hair just out. I love it. And then back to Treacherous Trudy. I think she might be my favorite. But that's also, I think Regina King has my favorite performance. Because her
performance is fabulous.
It's amazing. And there's something about her character in that she spends the whole movie pretty much speaking to people who tower over her. And she never feels like she's not in control. Like, absolutely, the power dynamic never feels like it's not in her favor. And they do things like with camera shots, they'll point out how small she is. Like, the camera's looking down at Regina, but she's talking to someone, whether it be officiant of the law, Rufus, Nat, the line where she says, clearly you don't know me. Like, it's like, this dude could knock her out, but he won't. She knows that he won't. She's just so good. I love her accent. I love everything about this character, except for the fact that she is clearly a psychopath. But man, that monologue she gives to Mary.
Yes.
It's so good. I watched that. I was like, give her the Oscar, give her the Golden Globe, give her the BET Award.
The NAACP.
Give her everything. MTV Award, Kids' Choice Awards. That's not even applicable, but just give it to her.
You never know with the Kids' Choice Awards. Everybody's performance is just magnificent. The music is dope. It's my God, it's all hip hop music, and it was done by the director himself, which is really cool.
He did the score. He wrote a lot of the original songs.
He wrote the movie.
This dude is. I'm like, whatever he's gonna do next, I'm there for it. Yeah, the opening credit sequence is one of my favorites, like visually and the sound. The song "Guns Go Bang" by Kid Cudi and Jay-Z. It's so good. And
also, the movie is produced by Jay-Z.
It is, yeah. And he did a great job doing whatever producers do. One of the things that James Samuel said in one of the mini interviews I watched is that, he grew up watching Westerns, and he's always talked about how they're so white and male. But also part of that is the music that we've all come to associate with Westerns.
Yeah.
Like, cowboys weren't listening to that music. It's
We
just
made that
music
up.
that we have now given to that. But it's like, it could just as well be hip hop, reggae, dancehall, all the stuff that we have.
Yeah, I'm coming to that realization, especially after, we're going to talk about it later, but the Witcher trailer that just came out.
Right.
Because so many people are complaining about the fact that it's a rap song because it's a fantasy show.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, but we made up the music that goes with fantasy. I can put anything behind fantasy that I want to. I made this up.
Right. Like, nigga, dragons don't have certain music that they listen to. It's fake.
Right? If I want to put hip-hop, listen, hip-hop music behind fantasy makes it so much more interesting.
Oh, definitely. I saw that trailer, and that's a show that we'll get to that later. But
I understand why people have the complaint that they have and the criticism of putting that type of music, like lyrical music, behind certain genres or like period pieces and stuff like that. But like, you can do what you want. If it goes with the message that you were trying to send with this film, then okay, what's the problem? Like,
exactly. I'm a monster. There's like a couple boxes I have to check because I won't forgive myself if I don't. Like I said about Edgar Wright using music well, James Samuel does that
yes,
so well. The use of the song The Promised Land by Dennis Brown works perfectly with, Rufus Buck's whole goal with Redwood City and all that. The remix of Here I Come by Barrington Levy. I was trying to debate like if I wanted to give the dialogue leading up to it, but I don't want to because that would spoil it. And it's not a spoiler, but the dialogue is good on its own. But that's the song that Jubilee, 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 whoa, that song. Just the way that song is used to intro that scene with the train.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so good. And did you notice the Chadwick Boseman nod?
Yes, the C.A. Boseman.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. Because I was talking to Kayla about it. She didn't notice it the first time, but then we saw the movie again the next night. I was talking to her and I was saying, this feels like a movie he would be in.
Or produce.
If he were alive. Yeah, like he was in The Five Bloods, which has Delroy, which has Jonathan Majors. He's in, he's the guy who got famous for playing every black hero. These people existed. That's one of the things the movie starts with. It says, though this story is fictional, these people existed. And it's like, these people existed. So like, the clap, these people existed. And he describes it as like, I want to put these names out there and put them together like, the Avengers or like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. You have these folk heroes, but like you have real black people. And Cherokee Bill.
He was not black, I believe. I went to look up a picture of this dude, and he was not.
Yeah, I think his gang was made up of people who have mixed heritage.
Oh, okay.
And like, hopefully he was too, because otherwise, why is Lakeith Stanfield playing a man named Cherokee Bill? But man, he was great too, so I can't even be mad at it.
He was very great.
And I also want to shout out Delroy Lindo. Delroy Lindo as Bass Reeves, aka the man who inspired the Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
Danielle Deadweiler as Cuffy, because
she's great.
She was like a show stealer because she's one of the people I didn't know was in the movie.
I don't even know who she is except for this movie.
So I remember we were talking after, and I said, "Oh, she's in Atlanta. She's in the episode where Van goes to meet, quote unquote, meet Drake."
Yes.
And I think she's the woman who's yelling at that white girl
for dating a black celebrity.
Man. I don't want to get that wrong, but I was playing it in my head. And I was like, "Oh my God, I think that's her." And if that is her, she has all the range in the world. I don't see anybody in that episode, if she plays her and plays Cuffy, she has all the range in the world. But she's dope. I was glad to see Dion Cole because this is the last place I expected to see Dion Cole.
I was not expecting to see Damon Wayans Jr. in this movie.
That was so random. But he was great too. Everyone is great. It's just so good.
Yeah, it's also a very funny movie. I want to also mention that because we haven't discussed how like it's also very humorous.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. And
it's so funny.
One of my favorite things about this movie is that like it legitimately just feels like here are some black people being black people while being cowboys. And it's so fun.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. I have to stop myself. But
so yeah, when it comes out on Netflix this week,
watch it.
Make sure you guys check it out.
Go watch it.
Either on Netflix or in theaters.
Yeah. We're still technically in the pandemic, so if you don't want to walk out in the Palm de Replay, as we call it, I understand. Just wait for Netflix.
In the panorama. It's all right.
Exactly. Oh, last thing I'll say. We talked about this being a Western, and I had an uncle, my dad's older brother, who since passed away, but apparently he was really into Western.
Oh, nice.
And this kind of thing just makes me think, oh my God, if he could see this, because he grew up, he was older.
Yeah.
So he grew up watching the, Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, like old white dude westerns. So I just wish he could be around to see, like, yo, we're doing it now. Like the last really dope western I saw starred Denzel Washington, The Magnificent Seven.
Oh yeah.
And now it's all black people. The only white people we really get are in the White Town.
Oh, when that
scenes.
comes up
It was so good.
in theaters, man, that was just an
That audience reaction was great. But yeah.
I want to shout out to the dude who, when we were watching the movie, we got to a certain point and it wasn't quiet. We had just finished laughing,
right?
But he said, "Oh shit," out loud, and then we all started laughing again.
And we were all thinking that. So good. But yeah, shout out to everyone involved. James Samuel, Boaz Yakin, all the amazing actors. You all did your thing. Jay-Z, good job producing. I love it.
All right, guys, we are going to skip the what you've been watching section because honestly, we
don't feel like it.
Yeah, and we have so many pieces of news that we're just going to go through those.
What, Colin?
No, that's accurate. I just,
We don't feel like it.
Guys, we're getting to the end of the year. We're getting real busy over here trying to get these episodes done. So,
True. Taking drugs that help with hallucinations. Because we've all been hallucinating that woman.
Are we? I think we just stopped
no.
sniffing the spice. Speaking of spice,
She's not a
Dune Part
hallucination.
2 coming 2023. Let's go.
Dune.
I'm super excited about that. There's not really much else to say about that except last week when we were talking about Dune, we were saying that hopefully they'll greenlight the second part. And the day after we said that they greenlit the second part. So I'm excited. It's coming October 2023.
Yes, it is. 2 years. Colin,
Let's go.
you were saying that, this movie kind of has to have a part 2.
Oh, it does.
It does if you watch the movie. It's clearly a to be continued. Do you have any thoughts on part 2?
Not really, because the end of part 1 is where I gave up on the book. Like right after that fight was where I was like, yeah, I just don't care about this. I'm moving on.
Okay.
So I don't really know what happens. I don't really care. I mean, I'm glad it's getting made just because, if you only had part 1, you'd be left with literally an incomplete, like it's
half a story.
It's not even like trying to tell like a whole story. It's this is an incomplete story and that's fine.
Yeah.
Now we're getting part 2 and it's fine. I did hear something interesting though about part 2 that it's not going to start filming until like late 2022. So that turnaround is going to be rough. I imagine it might get delayed. Whatever. I mean, am I going to see it? I don't know. Probably not, but I'm glad it'll exist.
Yeah. I feel like I like part 1 enough that I'll probably get around to watching it, but it's not one of those, like, I'm hyped for it. I do want to see if they will change the story, because as we know, big homie Denis Villeneuve said that this is not a white savior story.
No, it's a story about colonizers.
It is both. That's the thing.
But that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though.
One of the colonizers becoming the white savior.
Right, but part 2 could change that.
Could.
And that's my thing. If they decide, let's make Zendaya the quick time Hamantashen, then it's no longer a white savior.
That one was good.
Thank you. I knew you'd like
and that's
that one.
Honestly what probably should happen.
Well,
but I don't think that's going to happen because Denis Villeneuve is all, oh my God, I love the books. So if he's going to stick to what the books do, it's a white savior story.
Well, it's interesting because people have been pointing out that Paul Atreides actually isn't the hero of these books. He's actually not.
I mean,
nobody. Like, there is no hero, because what ends up happening is that it's, as he says in the first movie, there is a genocide in his name. And he knows that these bad things are going to happen. And he still continues down this path.
Like in his name, or one that like he kickstarts?
Well, he kind of kickstarts.
He kickstarts it.
So he's like,
he does say, we're going to go out there and
let's go do this genocide.
Does he actually? I don't know if he does that in this version. I know he does in the 80s version.
What?
The
Let's
like talking to the Freemen and like go out there and go kill people.
Well, not yet.
Not yet.
That's part 2.
Cool. I couldn't remember. I think because I saw that one and then the 80s one like one night and the other night, so I'm kind of conflating bits, you know?
Yeah. So people are currently debating Paul Atreides' role as quote unquote a hero.
It's weird that like the colonizer becomes white Jesus. This is weird. The book is weird. The movie's weird. The 80s movie's weird. The whole thing is weird.
But all different types of weird.
Yes, that's the thing. They're all different types of weird.
And I read the synopses of the books that come after, and it got weirder. Anyway, Dune coming at you. Well, Dune Part 2 coming at you 2023. I'm super excited. Can't wait to see what they do. Denis Villeneuve said that this one's going to be, it's going to have more action in it. And obviously it's going to have more Zendaya in it. And I'm excited about that. So,
Zendaya.
Let's go. We're getting into the magical stuff now.
Yep. Speaking of Warner Brothers, Brendan Fraser is joining the Batgirl movie.
Yes.
Shout out to Brendan Fraser.
We are in the, as I saw it called, the Brendaissance.
Brendaissance. That's cute.
I'm excited for him. I'm super happy. I'm glad that Brendan Fraser is making a comeback right now.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. He was popping up. He's in Doom Patrol. He's in other things.
He's in a Scorsese movie. He's in an Aronofsky film. Now he's in a Batgirl movie. My guy is killing it right now.
And he's playing an arsonist, right?
In theory, people aren't. That's not confirmed.
Oh, that's not confirmed.
People
Okay.
believe he is going to be.
I wasn't
arsonist.
sure what was confirmed and what wasn't.
What's confirmed is he's in the movie.
Yes.
Okay, the
What's
role
not
is
confirmed is who he's playing.
cool. Okay, okay.
Yeah, people think he's gonna be on. He's gonna be Firefly.
He flies around and lights things on fire.
Yeah, Firefly. He
Cool.
Like
fires
that.
and flies.
Sounds like fun. Yeah, no, especially because we know that he got blackballed from the industry for a long time. I'm
Yeah.
just really happy to see that he's back in action and doing lots of cool stuff.
Like Looney Tunes.
Ah,
'Cause he was in that movie.
ah,
Get it?
he returns
movie
like
called Looney
Mummy
Tunes.
returns.
Ah, all the puns. There's a movie called Looney Tunes Back in Action starring Brendan Fraser.
Okay.
From
Early
2000s?
2000s?
Yeah, when we were kids.
Yeah.
So she said Back in Action.
Oh,
He's in the
okay.
movie. Do you get it, Colin?
okay.
Do you get it?
Well, now
Colin?
I do. Yes. Now I got it. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Got it.
I didn't get it first.
Make sure you got
explained it. I got it. Yep, we're good.
Nice. So, yes, he's going to be in the Batgirl movie. I'm super excited about this Batgirl movie. Why is it not going to be in theaters, WB?
This
Our regular
is-
announcement about Batgirl and a number of other movies not being in
Because
theaters.
she's brown.
This is one of those
Because she's
things where it's
brown.
like, I want someone to just give me an explanation of what DC is doing.
You'll never get it.
I don't.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get
I just like.
Nice.
I get
Thank you.
that they have the multiverse or whatever the fuck. I honestly don't.
Oh, this is part of the main timeline.
I don't know what that means.
J.K. Simmons.
I literally don't know what the main timeline
The
is.
main timeline is the timeline that we've been following, which is the one with like the Justice
Wait.
League and stuff.
Okay, but also that's not Snyder's Justice League because he doesn't exist anymore. Nobody likes him or whatever. I don't know. And then, but also Doom Patrol is a separate thing or it is a thing.
Doom Patrol is
Help.
part of the multiverse. It's in a
Doom Patrol
different
has to be a
universe.
separate thing. 'cause
Right.
he's
And
Robot
Flash is this timeline
Right.
or it's going to be others in the same movie. Batman is something else.
The
Joker
Batman
is
is
something
something
else.
else.
Fucking Christ. This is why I'm saying I need some because it's like Brendan Fraser, he's already Robot Man. Now he's going to be something else, but they're different, but they're not.
Yes, because Doom Patrol's not part of the main timeline. Keep
I
it up, man.
hate
Keep
it.
up.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's just funny that our fan cast has stricter rules than their casting at Warner Brothers.
That's
Like-
my thing. Is like they're just like, you know what? We already got him.
Yeah.
Want to do something else? Sure.
You already here. You make a Doom Patrol.
But yeah, this
go make Batgirl.
this Batgirl is part of the I'm going to call it the Prime timeline.
Wait, is that the
Because-
one we've been following?
Yes, because J.K. Simmons is the one playing her father.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a different timeline than our Pats.
Yes.
Our what?
Our
Oh, our
Pats.
Pats.
Our Pats is part of Earth 2. This is Earth 1.
Okay, have they officially said these things, or are you?
Yes, these are official things
Where,
that they have
okay,
said.
where did they? Because I feel like that doesn't come across in the marketing at all. They're just like, we're just gonna put
Well,
a
no,
movie
they're not
out.
going to market
Y'all
that.
gonna
That's
watch
just-
it.
Those are extra details.
But
Yeah,
right,
just like
but I
extra
feel like
textual stuff.
it's
Here's the thing. I was saying these things about when they announced the multiverse a while ago, and everybody was like, the general audience will understand. It's fine. And I'm like,
they won't.
okay.
Well,
I mean,
because
they
they're
do.
not.
Colin doesn't. The general
Colin
audience
doesn't, yeah.
is fine.
Well, it's like, do they? Because has
I think the
DC
general audience-
been explaining this? Because Marvel puts it in the movies to be like, there are multiple Earths and stuff, and now they're doing that with Flash.
Yes, but Marvel also doesn't make
Flash.
multiple Earth content except for What If.
Well, now they're going to with Spider-Man.
They're not making that.
Well, yes, they are. It's
I mean, even that
there.
movie takes place primarily in the MCU. So, like, Marvel hasn't announced any movies. Like, they haven't done the Joker thing. Where, like, this is
Well,
a DC thing, but
technically
it's a
they-
separate thing.
well, I thought you were gonna say that deal with the multiverse, which technically they have.
They're going to.
They're going to. In
Right.
But
March
we're
or
still-
May
Even
or
then,
some shit.
yeah.
Even then, I'm pretty sure all the movies that we get after that will still be the prime timeline for the MCU. I don't think they're going to be like, oh, this movie takes place in a different universe.
Mm.
I would assume. But
Which
maybe.
DC is just like, you know
We'll
what? We have a multiverse. We're going to make as many movies as we want, and they don't have to connect.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, yeah, comics do it.
But also,
Might as well
the
do it.
general audience doesn't care.
Right. They're just like, hey, look, Batman. Cool.
Exactly.
He's going to punt some poor people. I'm watching
Oh my gosh.
That is what he does.
it.
Well,
Reminding
no.
me of that tweet
okay,
that I
it's-
read last
He
night.
punches the poor or the mentally ill or both. You can be both.
Well, to
Although
him,
fairness-
everybody's poor.
Well,
True,
yes.
poor is relative.
Yes.
But also, not all those bad guys are poor because they be stealing money. Like Penguin is neither poor nor mentally ill.
Catwoman, I don't think is poor. She be stealing jewels like
He's not
nobody's
gonna punch
business.
Catwoman.
I don't know. Maybe she's.
He shouldn't. That's domestic
Never mind.
violence.
What you gonna say, Colin?
Never mind.
What you gonna say, Colin?
Some things go a little too far.
What you gonna say,
I don't
Colin?
know that on the
You gonna beat that
podcast.
pussy up?
Anyway, no, that wasn't.
Hey.
Could be a little worse than that, but anyway,
What are you gonna say?
nothing.
Okay. But yeah, we're happy for Brendan Fraser. Shout out to Batgirl. And
So excited
Max.
about Leslie Gross playing Batgirl, man. I'm stoked about this movie. I'm not stoked about it being on HBO Max, but I am stoked about this movie. Next up, trailer releases.
Yep. We got a trailer for Lightyear.
Let's start with that.
Lightyear.
What'd you think?
So when I heard it was announced, I thought, okay, cool. I like Toy Story. Buzz Lightyear is cool. I dig Chris Evans. And I saw the trailer and I thought, oh, this is serious? ? I don't think it's going to be as serious as the trailer lets on.
Yeah.
I feel like they're doing the look what we can do with Buzz Lightyear right now. I feel like when you get in there, they're going to remember, hey, Buzz Lightyear comes with a target audience already.
Yes.
The target audience loves Toy Story.
The thing
Toy
is,
Story is
though,
not Ad Astra. So I don't think
Ad Astra.
they're
What a
gonna
reference.
Yeah, it was the first one. I was like, okay,
Ad
what
Astra.
astronaut movie am I going
No,
to
that
think?
works really well because that's a really character heavy, serious piece.
It is.
Yeah, and if you Google Ad Astra, one of the little related questions is Ad Astra boring?
Oh, no.
In some parts,
I haven't
yes.
seen it. I just wanted to put that out there.
The thing is,
What's
though,
up?
this movie isn't about Buzz Lightyear the toy. It's about Buzz Lightyear the dude
The
who
man.
inspired the toy. So
The
it's like
man.
maybe he is more serious. I don't know.
I would assume, yeah, he's not. Well, they made a
Because
cartoon
toys,
show
right,
about Buzz Lightyear,
are-
which I assume was about Buzz Lightyear the man.
No, I think
No, that was
about
the
Buzz
dude,
the
the Space Ranger,
toy.
the toy. What?
But
See,
they're
the
in
thing is,
space, weren't they?
well, yes, but I mean, the toy can be in space. The thing is,
Who's
like,
gonna take the toy to space, Colin? Yeah, kids up there.
the toys can come to life, Dallas.
They
I
don't
feel,
go to space.
I feel like the
Why
Buzz
can't
Lightyear
they?
show was very similar to what Woody's Roundup is in Toy Story universe. Speaking of which, if we're making a Lightyear movie, can I get a Woody's Roundup TV series, please? Buzz gets all the freaking spinoffs, and I'm really upset because I am a Woody girl. Okay, Woody's my dude.
I saw a tweet that shut up, Colin. I saw a tweet that said Woody's Roundup was gonna look like No Country for Old Men.
See, that's the
But-
thing is, like, I feel like, because toys, right, by their nature, are sillier,
Mhm.
simpler, cuter than
Right.
the things that they are based on. So this could be like, oh God, Buzz's oxygen tank is malfunctioned.
Oh,
He
yeah.
might have to cut off his own arm, or like,
This could be like a helping hand from Black.
yeah, that's
no,
exactly where I
it's
was
the
thinking.
freaking Love,
yeah.
Death, and Robots
Right? Like, oh God.
episode. I hated it. But I want to go back to Woody's Roundup to me because the thing you said in that show, Woody's Roundup, he's not a toy.
No,
He's a man.
He's a man.
That's what I'm saying about the cartoon that we had.
Well,
I think
that's
in
what
that
I'm saying.
cartoon, Buzz is a dude.
I'm saying because within Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear obviously has his own mythology
Right.
because he's got Zurg and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm saying the cartoon from when we were children could
Mhm.
possibly just be a similar thing to Woody's Roundup, where it's just here are stories of that mythology, but they're not necessarily this Buzz Lightyear.
Right. But I was like, that and this are both stories of Buzz, the character.
Buzz Lightyear to the rescue.
My nigga Buzz.
So you remember the movie Buzz Lightyear of Star Command?
Was it a movie?
Yes, there was.
I didn't know that was a movie.
You guys didn't know there was a movie called Buzz Lightyear of Star Command?
I remember. A TV
I
show.
know that
Wasn't that the TV show?
Toy
No,
Story had
that
movies,
was-
and that was
it
it.
had a
Like,
movie.
I
was
didn't.
like, okay.
If they had a movie, and the movie even starts in Andy's room, and the toys are watching Buzz Lightyear's new movie.
Wait, there's a movie of the toys watching the movie Goodness
that
gracious.
you end up that
This
you
is deep.
watch.
Yes.
So yeah, okay. So
It's like you remember Lion King 1.5? Except they don't.
Yes. Okay,
except
yeah.
they don't continuously interrupt the movie. You're legit just watching the movie,
Word.
that they're watching.
and the film led to the TV series.
Okay. Are you guys gonna watch this movie?
Yes.
I don't. Probably not. I don't care.
Do you like Toy Story, Colin?
The Toy Story movies are fine. They've never hit for me. Like, I enjoy them.
See, but
I've
they've
seen all 4 of them, and they're fine.
Mm.
This is another instance of just like, can we get something new, please? Like, I'm
No,
looking forward to
nigga.
like that, and that's my problem. I don't.
mean, okay, that's not fair. We are getting new things.
We are.
Like,
I think
Luca just came out.
Soul
just came
Encanto is
out,
coming
Onward
out.
just
yeah,
came
they're
out.
doing new things as well.
They are. I think it's just like, I get that Disney is going to keep returning to the Disney well, or Pixar in this case, or Disney Pixar. I don't know what are they Pixar? Disney Pixar? How's that work?
Disney owns Pixar. So
Right. So I guess it's
All the
whatever.
Pixar stuff is
Point
Disney
is, I get that they're going to keep going back to the well because they will beat a dead horse because people will still pay for it. But it's like,
stuff. No, that's Woody's Roundup. Of course.
Okay, they will. Yeah, I can't think of one for space.
Beat a dead alien?
Ooh,
That's horrible.
I don't like that. I don't know why beat a dead horse is fine and that isn't, like, you know? Anyway, so, this feels like, I know that they've got some super creative shit and this feels like not it, but hey, whatever.
We'll
People will see it.
I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. Literally all 4 Toy Story movies are in my top 5 Pixar films.
Really? All
Yes,
4 of them?
All 4 of them. I'm a Toy Story kid. I love
What's
those
the
movies.
other movie?
The Incredibles.
Nice. I love it.
Of course, The Incredibles had to make the top 5.
I
But
respect it.
the rest of the top 5 is made up of Toy Story.
So you love all 4 of them?
Yes.
Nice.
I mean, I cried during Toy Story 4.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure I might have cried during Toy Story 3. So,
I mean, yeah, they almost incinerated everybody.
yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to watch it. It looks fun. It looks like the genre is in my wheelhouse. I love sci-fi.
That's true.
It looks very sci-fi. It looks like it's really good animation. It's Pixar after all. Pixar.
True. They always have good animation.
Yeah, even Pixar's like, now I have not seen Cars 2, but even like
Same.
Pixar's like lowest rated movies, or I haven't disliked a Pixar movie. I'm not a huge fan of WALL-E, but
Really? WALL-E's like beloved.
it bored me.
That's fair. It's not the most fun movie. He was walking around picking up trash for an hour and a half. That's reductive. That's not all the movie is, but it's a lot of it.
Yeah. So I love Pixar, so I'm gonna see this one, and it looks like fun. Even though my brother was the Buzz fan, I was the Woody fan. So don't
look at me.
No, just because I respect it. I'm more on your side. I love Pixar.
Yeah.
I don't love all the Toy Story movies, but I don't dislike any of them. I've always been a fan of Buzz Lightyear. I had a Buzz Lightyear toy when I was a kid. Tim Allen didn't want to say nigga. But it just makes me think of all the things that we could get. Like, if we're getting the realistic, gritty space movie, we could get the Woody Western. We could get The Harder They Fall with Woody.
I don't want that. I want a spaghetti Western. Woody's Roundup.
I want The Harder They Fall with Woody because I just saw The Harder They Fall and I love it. Yeah. I want a horror movie about Giddy Gabby from Toy Story 4 and her little scary henchmen.
Oh my gosh.
Because they were already scary.
That's horrifying.
And that movie was for kids. So I want that
Listen,
movie.
the toys from Toy Story 1 were horrifying. Come on, man.
Oh my God, I want that.
Okay, see, here's the thing, though, is
movie.
I wonder if part of the reason they were so terrifying was because of when the movie was made and what technology they were working with at the time.
No, those things are terrifying regardless.
It's both because...
Well, I mean, the pinhead motherfucker, yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, it's both because they were terrifying as they existed, and also they were terrifying because everything in that movie looks terrifying. Like, Andy looks terrifying in Toy Story 1. His sister is a monster.
Speaking of monsters.
Oh, good job.
The Witcher.
You got us out of it.
Segue.
Yes.
The Witcher released a trailer for season 2.
It did, and
Why
people
is-
were apparently mad.
Gabby not here.
Well, I mean,
Who?
Who?
she still exists. She's not a hallucination.
She never did, and yes, she is.
She's
Oh,
not.
man.
Gabby, I love you. I respect that you exist. Even if these two don't. No, you just said you think she's a hallucination and that she doesn't
I
exist.
didn't say anything about thinking she's a hallucination. Gabby is a hallucination.
She's not.
Okay. The Witcher.
I wish
understand
Gabby-
too.
I wish Gabby was here because Gabby
Yeah.
is the person who loves this show as much as I do. I am so excited about this show coming back. It feels like it's been the last time we had a season of The Witcher, we weren't in a pandemic.
Ooh.
Yeah, you and I still live together, and I made you watch it.
Yeah, it's,
You made me watch the first episode.
I
And
think it was the first
second.
two. Yes, the first two.
Which is odd because I thought after we both watched the first one, we both weren't really vibing with it. But then I think you grew to like it.
did
Here's
it?
the thing. I watched it a second time. I think it's fine. I think the first watch made no goddamn sense. The second watch, knowing how it was structured, I was able to make sense of it. Did I
Okay.
really enjoy it? It is fine. It is an average fantasy show that didn't hit for me. Like the movie didn't hit for me.
It was a movie?
There's an animated movie that just came out this past summer.
Blood of the Wolf, I think. I
Which
can't remember.
I had
It's
a fun
about,
time with.
Vesemir, I think.
You like wolves.
It is about Vesemir. There are no wolves in the movie.
No, it's just because they're from the school of the wolf. So there's different Witcher schools. There's like a school of the bear, the school of the wolf, the school of the
Oh, you like
hawk,
bears
I think. And then I think there's a school of the snake. And they're from the school of the wolf. That's why Geralt's
The white
medallion
wolf.
is a wolf, because he's from the school of the wolf.
The famous white wolf.
But there are no wolves.
I'm sure there are wolves you can run into in the games because that's a generic fantasy anime. You always got wolves. But yeah, I think the series is fine. I have no interest in watching it again. I don't really think I'm gonna watch season 2 because it's just eh.
Meanwhile, I am going to rewatch season 1 before season 2 comes out. I'm so excited. I loved the first season, and I thought I know a lot of people had an issue with the structuring of it, but I thought that the time structuring was actually very interesting. It was a very unique way of framing this show, especially because everybody's timeline is running at a different pace. Yennefer's timeline is like over the span of 60 years. Geralt's timeline is over the span of like 14, 15 years or something like that. And then you have Ciri's timeline, which just takes place over the span of 2 weeks.
Okay.
But
that's different.
It's so interesting because as the show goes on, you get more information as to how the world became what it is. So then, like, Yennefer does something, like, in episode 3 or episode 4. And then you get to, like, episode 6 or 7, and you start realizing, oh, that thing that she did then has caused this issue. Or you'll see something that happens in episode 4 or 5 going on in Ciri's timeline or Geralt's timeline, and you realize that it is the culmination of something that Yennefer did years ago.
All right.
So I always found that aspect of the timeline very, very interesting, especially on rewatch when you realize what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But this season seems a lot more streamlined. It's definitely all just one narrative.
Okay.
That is what the showrunner said. She said it was going to be more streamlined.
Yeah, because the first season had to introduce you to our 3 main characters, but in the books, Geralt is the main character. The particular book that they're telling stories from doesn't have Yennefer or Ciri in it, I think. So they had to find a way to introduce Ciri and Yennefer, but their timelines obviously are very different from Geralt's, so it had to be done in a different way. Season 1 looks great. Season 2 somehow looks even better.
Oh, nice.
The budget already looked really high for season 1, and season 2 just looks like they were like, here's all the money.
Netflix be spending.
Here's a blank check, and
Make it rain over there.
It looks so good.
Well,
You say something about.
You know they do that, right? You know they have the money for that. They cancel everything you love.
I was waiting for it.
Oh no,
that's what they do. They're like, ooh,
that's true.
Dallas is watching these. All right, cancel those. Cancel those. Funnel the money to something else.
Put that in the Witcher budget.
Oh, absolutely. Since we're getting Witcher spinoffs like it's nobody's business. Yeah, we have so many spinoffs coming.
And it's only because I didn't like it. If I loved The Witcher, they would have been like, ooh, we gotta cancel that.
All right, Dallas never like it because I like.
Ooh, that's the thing. I was gonna ask
Good,
you,
I
like,
got you.
do you plan to watch this? But you can't.
I can't.
No,
if I said I planned to watch it, they'd be like, pull the plug.
No. You have to like it. You have to like
that's
it.
true.
I have to watch it and
you
really,
have to like
really
say
want
that you
to
like
watch
it
more
and
of
be
it.
like, oh, I'm really excited to see where this goes, and then they can be like,
you have to love it.
Nope, bye. Which you're dead.
But yeah, I'm excited to have these characters back. I'm so excited that my ship is coming back. Geralt and Yennefer. I'm so excited. I've missed them so much, especially Yennefer. I'm excited to see what they're doing with Yennefer this season because it looks like she's being held hostage, or well, held captive, I guess. I think being a hostage usually comes with demands.
I think that is correct.
Yeah.
I've never looked up the definition of hostage, but that seems to be
yeah, whenever you think of hostages, it's like, I'm holding this person because you want them and you will give me things for them, whereas Yennefer is just like, well,
she's being held captive. She's a prisoner.
Nilfgaard got her.
Yeah, Nilfgaard got her.
Why there isn't a porn parody of that?
I'm gonna say, did you say Nilfgaard?
It's an N, but God, you know,
Nilfgaard.
It's so close.
That's
so close.
Easy.
Like the MILF. Come on,
I can't.
The Nilfgaard.
The parodies of this show write themselves.
I can't deal with you guys.
Toss a coin to yo nigga. Like, why don't that song exist yet?
Anyway,
Trap remix.
Oh my god, I love it.
Anyway, I'm excited to see if my actors list ends up changing up, because last time we had a season of The Witcher, Anya Chalotra ended up on my list because I thought she did such a fantastic job as Yennefer.
Wait, when does this come out?
December 17th.
Oh, this year, okay.
Dallas, will you be watching?
No.
Hey, let him answer the question.
I will not, just because, you know, I want everyone who's enjoying the show to be able to keep enjoying it.
I appreciate you for that. Also,
didn't realize you were cursed, but hey, here we are.
Also, I really enjoyed the song choice for the trailer.
It was dope.
I thought it was dope.
I liked it. I like that song, first off. But also, the song is called Monsters. Nigga hunts monsters.
And he is a monster sometimes.
Yeah, see?
I was getting hyped. Not gonna lie. I was hyped.
It's a good hype song.
Also, like I said earlier, it's a fantasy show. I could play whatever song I want on the background of this.
Exactly.
It's fiction. especially because you guys know they're not going to play actual hip hop music in the show. Like,
And that's why I don't watch it.
Exactly. Anyway, yeah, looks great, looks fantastic. I can't wait for the show to come back, and I can't wait for me and Gabby to be able to talk about it if she ever comes back.
Check back in with me, Dallas, when the second season comes out, and I make myself watch it, because that's probably what's going to happen.
Colin, why do you do this?
Just watch things you like, man.
Because
you have so many
the
things
thing
you like.
is, when I'm on social media and like everybody I follow is saying this is the best thing that has ever existed,
But you know
I feel
it's not.
compelled to check it out.
That's not true. You didn't watch Ted Lasso.
That's true.
That is true.
Like you.
But The Witcher, the problem with The Witcher is that Ted Lasso isn't really something that I would be interested in checking out anyway.
Okay,
I
so
wanted
The Witcher's
to like
fantasy,
The
so
Witcher,
you're like, oh, I get it.
and it just didn't hit for me. But I want to understand why it hits for people who don't even really like fantasy as much, right? Because that's the thing about The Witcher too, is it's like that Game of Thrones thing where it's like, oh, I don't give a shit about that, but now I give a shit, and it's like, well, what did it?
Oh, I can tell you
I
why
get it
people
with
cared
Game of
about Game
Thrones.
of Thrones.
No, I get it with Game of Thrones. That's the thing. I don't get it with The Witcher. That's where I'm confused, and I want to get it. Because Game of Thrones, from the jump, I was like, yeah, I get it.
I feel like you watching it is not going to help. I
It's
feel
the same
like
reason
you gotta,
people watch Succession, because they like white people bickering. It's fine. Like, I get it.
I feel like
but-
you need to talk to somebody who usually doesn't like fantasy who likes The Witcher. Like, I don't think watching it is going to help you understand.
I don't know, man.
That's true. You already watched the first one. You still don't seem to understand. So it's interesting. You have this like fight or flight response to people picking up something. It's like either you will run away from it, or you will watch it and then not like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fight scenes this season look amazing, which is, I mean, the first season they were already incredible. That first episode fight scene, like, oh my goodness. But like this season, dope. Anyway, we were talking about Game of Thrones. Speaking of Game of Thrones, Netflix has cast 12 actors for David Benioff and D.B. Weiss's adaptation of Three Body Problem.
I was wondering what that connection was. I was like, we didn't have Game of Thrones. And what?
We were just talking about Game of Thrones. Huh?
You brought it up.
You
No,
brought
but
it
I'm saying,
up.
like, I didn't know how Game of Thrones was going to connect to a news story because we
Oh.
didn't have Game of Thrones in the news section. I was like, what? But Three Body Problem is a thing that they're doing. People who've read it love it, so hopefully it's good. See, here's the thing. I don't want to believe. I don't want to say, oh, two people made this show not what I wanted it to be, because I don't know that that's true. And I don't want to put the blame on two specific people. So the fact that they're showrunning this doesn't make me think, ooh, I don't think it's going to turn out well.
Fair.
I don't know that they were the reason that I didn't like Game of Thrones. I can say that they were. It's easy to put the blame on two people, but I don't think that's fair.
Oh,
Because
so you
a
just
lot of
didn't
people
like
made the decisions.
the end of Game of Thrones, right?
No, I didn't like the last like 3 seasons. I felt it. Well, I
Oh.
didn't dislike them. It was just like, not feeling this. Not
Basically,
feeling this, not
it
feeling
wasn't
this.
as good after they no longer had George R.R. Martin's novels to adapt from. Meaning that it was left on the showrunners and whatever writers they had left to come up with the story to continue on with.
Not necessarily.
Based on what
because
George
they
R.R.
also-
Martin told them.
Right, but we
about how
also
they
don't
wanted
know
to
how
end it.
specific he got. It's possible that he told them that every event that we saw is happening in the books. We don't know. So I don't want to blame them because I don't know how much of it
I'm
is in them.
doubtful that he would be like, here's every event I have planned for these books that I may never finish. Also, the quality of writing that George R.R. Martin has, we don't know if perhaps he will just write it better.
This is also true. But
now we're
that's,
getting into
like,
hypotheticals. Let's not be in hypotheticals. This show now has 12 actors who are in it. And there are a lot of them. Some of them who
Oh,
were on Game of
12.
Thrones, like John Bradley and Liam Cunningham. We've also got Sai Chin, who I actually really like. She's great. There are a lot of names on this list that I've never heard of, though. Benedict Wong is in it.
Yeah, I like him. He's dope.
Do love Benedict Wong. Asa Gonzalez is in it.
Yes.
Y'all already know what it is.
Demi's faith. One of her faves.
One of my faves. It's really hard to say my fave when I have so many of them. It's just
Yeah,
like,
so
yeah, that's
many.
an actor I really, really like.
She's on that list for you.
Yeah, there's like a very long list of actors that I'm very dedicated to their work. Giovanna Depo, I've seen all the things that they're in or that's listed on this list, so I know
Right.
who they are. I just can't think of a face off the top of my head.
I mean, there's a picture.
Oh wait, yeah, no, I'm looking at the picture.
Yeah.
He looks familiar, so
He's in
yeah.
Fences and When They See Us and Watchmen.
And I've watched all of those things,
Yes.
so
I saw Watchmen. It was dope. I didn't see When They See Us because it was only going to make me mad.
it's
And
very good.
I heard it's very good. And I wanted to watch it. When I saw the trailer for When They See
That's
Us,
the
I was
thing.
like, I'm going to watch that.
It's one of those things. It goes on that list of things where it's like, I'm glad this exists.
Mhm.
I think it was important that I watched it. I will
Mhm.
never watch it again.
Yeah.
And it's hard to recommend it.
yeah,
you
stuff
know?
like that is like,
Because it's like
I could
you
just
will
as
not
easily not do that to myself.
enjoy this.
No.
But I think you get a lot out of it. So it's like, I don't know, you know?
Some things you recommend not for enjoyment, but because you get something out of it. There's an actress named Saya Shimuka in this, And
Who was on a show you love?
yeah, she was on Arrow playing Emiko Queen.
Oh, that was Amika?
Yes.
Oh.
I hope this show is good. I know nothing about the book that it's based off of, but according to Colin, it's been said that it's a very good book.
It's based on a series, a trilogy, I think.
Nice. Ryan Johnson and Ram Bergman are executive producers for it, and I love Ryan Johnson and Ram Bergman. So,
Who's Ram Bergman?
he's his producing partner.
Word.
Oh, Rosamund Pike is also.
Girl is
producing
getting her
this.
bag right now.
She's not in it. She's just producing it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, time out. Demi, you said something in the chat about Rosamund Pike. You weren't talking about this?
No.
She's also in Wheel of Time,
Oh, okay.
which is coming out
Soon.
middle of November.
Okay, different.
Coming out
different
very soon. But yeah, the cast looks dope. All of these people who I've actually seen in things, because the girl from Arrow, I've never actually seen her do anything because I was no longer watching Arrow by that point. But all of the people that I've seen do stuff are really great.
thing. And Colin, you have these books, yeah?
Yes,
And you have not read them, yeah?
I have not. Listen. My problem is that I get into books that are like hundreds and hundreds of pages long,
Mhm.
and I read like a chapter or two a night, so it just takes me a while.
Right.
So it's like after I'm done with the book I'm currently reading, of which I still have about 450-ish pages,
Goodness.
it's a long book.
Sounds like it.
He writes
You
long
are taking
sentences.
your time for sure.
Well, yeah.
How long have you had these books, Colin?
The 3 Body Problem books?
Yeah.
Probably a year. That's when they announced the show, right?
Probably, yeah. I bought them when the show was announced. Because the thing is, also,
just been
if it's an
sitting there.
adaptation, I want to be one of those snobs like, the book was better. Even if it
Okay.
wasn't, you know?
Oh, God.
So,
She just, it's been sitting there. For
yeah,
years,
it's been sitting in the same place
Waiting.
on the same shelf for that entire time.
gathering dust.
I will eventually read them.
We have a what you've been watching, what you've been doing section, and you could be telling us what books you're reading. You don't have to
I
tell us that
don't
much about it.
think
Just tell us
this
you're
is
reading
a book I'm allowed to publicize
it.
because
Okay, never mind.
it's not published. It doesn't exist. So it's like I could tell people, yeah, go read this book, and
You
they
reading
wouldn't be able
imaginary
to.
books?
No, it's just that my boyfriend writes books. I am reading his books. Neither of these books is published.
Oh.
So I can't tell people go read. Also, this book doesn't have a title. Like I couldn't even tell you.
So it's like a work in progress?
Yeah, he's still
Okay.
editing it, and
Got it,
I'm
got it, got it.
helping him do that, but also reading it. So it's like I can't tell people
Oh.
go read this book because
Well,
Right.
when you're reading published books, just know that you can say what books you're reading. You don't
Right.
have to give us much outside of that.
And you
Just
got a
tell us
lot
what you're reading.
this is true, but I read very slowly.
Colin
But
ain't
you're
read none of
reading
his
it,
books.
so-
Colin's got a bookcase full of books he hasn't read.
This I have.
And that's why he
Well, no,
hasn't
I have
touched
a bookshelf full of books that I've mostly read. I have several drawers full of books I haven't read. Get it
Oh.
right, Dallas.
Oh my gosh.
Get it right.
This this is a sci-fi book though, right? It's an alien
It's
invasion
a sci-fi
trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I like sci-fi. I like alien invasion movies, and this is a TV series. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. Anyway, we were talking about Asa Gonzalez. She also got cast in a different TV show shortly before getting cast in The 3 Body Problem.
Yeah, she's also been getting work because we talked about her in our last news section with Ambulance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Ambulance. She's going to be in a show called Extrapolations. It's an anthology series about climate change. This cast is stacked.
It's pretty dope.
It is Meryl
Is it-
Streep, Sienna Miller, Kit Harington, Tahar Rahim, Matthew Rees, David Diggs, Gemma Chan, David Schwimmer, Adarsh Gaurav, and that's not even it. That was like who they cast like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
The people that they cast this week are
Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker, Marion Cotillard,
Is
Tobey Maguire, and Asa Gonzalez.
it? Also, David Diggs, he's in that climate change bag. Like, he's been on Snowpiercer. He's doing this. Is this like a drama?
The series currently
Yes.
in production tells stories of how the upcoming changes to the planet will affect love, faith, work, and family on a personal and human scale. Told over a season of 8 interconnected episodes, each episode in the scripted series will tackle the worldwide battle for our mutual survival spanning the 21st century.
That kind of slaps. I'm down.
It's going to be on Apple TV Plus.
Well,
You have access.
gotta hit up the hallucination.
Colin, I have this network.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard anything like this, an anthology series about climate change.
No.
Like, it's a very
Everything I
interesting-
hear about climate change in film is documentary.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm very
Or
interested.
like Day After
Day After
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
you know?
But that was before climate
Geoforce?
change
Geostorm?
became
Whatever it's
like super popular in us discussing issues, I guess you could say, for Day After Tomorrow.
Well, Al Gore was trying.
He was trying, but we
That
weren't
man was
listening.
Trying.
That's fair. I mean, most people still aren't listening, but hey.
Yeah, I love this cast. Listen, they had me so I saw Meryl Streep and Gemma Chan, and I was like, oh, that's dope. They worked on a movie together like last year. It's really cool that they're working together again. And then I opened the article and it said Daveed Diggs, and I was like, sign me up. Let's go.
Yeah. It's funny how different Colin and I are. You Colin and I? Whatever.
Colin and I.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Thank you, Englishman. Because the premise of the show sounds extremely boring to me. I'm with it for the cast, mostly Daveed. Daveed, if you're listening, love you. But
Friend of the show, Daveed
friend of the
Diggs.
show, Daveed Diggs. Is it a whole anthology drama series about climate change? That's just real life. Like, we're living climate change. Like, is it just gonna be the kind of conversations
Well, no, it's
we have now?
extrapolations. That's the point. So
Meaning
it's
what?
extrapolating means to take what you have and then
Mhm.
sort of speculate what things will look like later.
So it's Black Mirror, but
But
climate
with
change.
climate change.
Yeah.
So the thing that Black Mirror does with technology, this is gonna do that.
This
with
is going to do with
change.
climate
Yeah, I
change.
think so, yeah.
Okay, so it's more like Day After Tomorrow.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Because
Hopefully
that's
a little bit
dramatic
less.
extrapolation.
Yeah. But yeah, it's extrapolating from where we are now. Where are we going to go if we don't change what we're doing? How is it going to look? How are things going to change?
Okay. I mean, yeah, that just sounds bleak, but not in a way that is exaggerated or removed enough that I can look at it like I look at The Walking Dead or post-apocalyptic stuff. Like, man, this is bleak, but like I can just watch that removed from it.
But I think that's also kind of the point.
Definitely, it is. If you're gonna make a show about climate change, that has to be the point. But I don't think I'm gonna be very interested.
I get it. Some
in
people
just like, oh man, remember when we ruined the climate?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're also presenting it as like a drama that, from the description Demi read, is mostly about the people. So maybe that will carry you through.
Yeah,
It's
the
less
characters and
about
cast
like,
could definitely
let's
clear
look at
the
some
interest.
icebergs. Like, yeah, okay,
Right. That's
you
what
know.
that's what it sounds like.
Right.
But it's like climate change.
That's what a lot
man.
of.
Well, no, yeah, they've definitely, and I'm not going to go into it right now. You guys can go look up the article itself. But each article with the cast has the description of what character they're playing. So they have character descriptions right now. We're not just sitting in the dark like you usually would be like, this character is undisclosed right now. But yeah, it's hard to say what exactly the show is going to be. I don't know if it'll be as like emphatic as Black Mirror is about technology. And I don't think we'll be able to know until we finally get a trailer because they are in production.
Yeah, and it could be super dope.
Yeah.
And the thing about anthologies is even if certain episodes don't hit, other ones could. And it's kind of like you said with Black Mirror. I watch Black Mirror and the episodes like Playtest.
Yes.
Or like Hang the DJ, stuff that we don't have, but I could see, like, oh man, yeah, I could see how we would end up there, but that's not where we are.
Yo, playtest better not ever happen.
Like there's an episode of Black Mirror with the robot dog thing.
Yes.
We have that.
Yes, we do.
We have that now. And
now they're putting guns on it.
Yeah, like y'all didn't see this? Like, y'all
So-
just gonna do the thing that they did?
Is Playtest the one with the VR thing?
Yeah.
Is that like the setup? Is it's VR, but like it can actually affect you? Because we're already there. Like you could do haptic feedback on VR, and you would basically be in that situation.
I don't know, but I don't need that.
Like that's gonna happen.
Let's put it this way. I watched Playtest and I didn't watch Black Mirror again for 2 weeks because it messed me up so badly. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't. Not
Yeah.
because of the technology aspect of it, but the horror aspect of it. I was like, I can't.
Sure.
That's the first time I sat through horror for Hannah John Common. Look at where we are now. Freaking Resident Evil.
And Playtest is probably a bad example just because the stuff that happens in the episode
Yeah.
is the more removed part than the actual technology they're displaying. Because
Yes.
the technology they're displaying isn't something crazy.
Last thing on our list. Something for me in Dallas.
Hey, another fave of ours.
Ana de Armas is
Ana de
in
Armas.
talks to star in John Wick spinoff Ballerina. This is far better news than the recent news that we've been given about another John Wick spinoff.
So this is an interesting one for me because I love Ana de Armas,
Yes.
as we all should.
Shout out to Ana de Armas. This is like the third one we've given in like the past few episodes.
Yeah,
I think she's come up in all 3 of our recent episodes.
that's crazy. She's doing her thing. It's something super unexpected. And also, it's just in talks. So we don't know if she's actually going to be in it.
I hope so.
It's unexpected for me because the Ballerina, it seemed to lean so Russian,
Very
given the
Russian.
scene that whole world is introduced in the movie. So I just assumed it would be some Russian girl. And, Ana de Armas could play a woman from Russia, obviously. She's just not who I would think when I'm picturing a Russian assassin. I'm with it. And it's also, I think, Lionsgate, after Knives Out came out, It's like, yo, that could be our girl.
That could be it.
So we just put her in as much as possible.
Also, like, after just watching No Time to Die, people loved her character in No Time to Die. She's in that movie maybe 10 minutes.
Right.
And she's early on in the film, too. It's not like she's close to the end of the movie. Like, she's early on in the film. And she made such an impression. And she's been in a number of, like, action-adjacent movies.
Mm-hmm.
But she is not the action hero. And in No Time to Die, she's got, like, one really dope action sequence. And that was enough to leave people wanting more. So I'm like, yeah, this could be your new action heroine. She will probably be really good at it. Like, ever since watching No Time to Die, I'm like, yo, give her her action role.
Right.
I don't care what it is. And here we are. And it's, you know, it's possible that she is going to be the ballerina. And it's just like, yeah, do it. If they're not going to make James Bond spinoffs, so I can't get a Paloma movie, then I want to go see this. And also the John Wick movies, like, I mean, the direction is just so good. It's interesting, though. This one's being directed by Lynn Wiseman, which
right,
I
the Underworld guy.
forgot. But yeah, I like the Underworld movies, or at least the ones that I've seen. So I'm interested to see where that goes. And
Same.
it was funny because in the group chat you said, I'm already excited for this. So it's not like it changes my opinion. It just
Right.
makes me more excited. And I totally agree with that. This is like, I was already excited about the idea of the ballerina.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm just more excited because Ana de Armas could be playing the ballerina.
Yeah.
I am hoping that they get Angelica Houston to cameo or also be in it after her little small role in John Wick 3.
Yeah.
Because she's great.
She was great.
And also it's technically her underground world. So
Yeah.
I'm all about the John Wick world expanding. One of my favorite things about this series has been its world building.
Same.
Which is crazy because it's a very grounded movie. It's a movie about assassins.
Right.
But its world is so great.
Yeah, they build it in a way where it doesn't need to go outside the realm of
Reality.
right. Like it's not. Nah, there are aliens. It's just this world is bigger than you thought it was. Because in the first one, it was just I'm gonna kill some people.
Yeah, it's like a criminal underground type of world.
Mhm.
And I like that. I don't think we get a lot of franchises
Right.
about criminal underground.
Yeah, and it expands with each installment in a great way. And I like this news because I can be happy either way. If this gets confirmed, dope. We got Ana de Armas. It falls through and it's not her. I'm still excited for the ballerina. So my excitement isn't contingent upon this, which is my favorite kind of news.
Yeah.
Because, you don't want to say, oh, this actor you really like was in talks to do this thing. And then, it didn't happen. Or Ava DuVernay is going to make New Gods.
And
Nope.
that doesn't
No, she's
happen.
not. And then now we're sad.
James Wan is making The Trench. Oh, wait. It
Oh,
turned
no,
out
he's
it was
not.
a Black Manta movie, and now he's not making it.
Exactly. So
That was disappointing.
so disappointing.
That was painful.
That one hurt me. Treat me not Netflix.
But this one will not hurt.
Exactly. I'm with it. I'm excited. Ana de Armas is great. John Wick stuff is great. Ballerina's probably gonna be great.
And that's all we got for you guys today.
That is it. We did the thing.
We did do the thing.
Yes. Thank you for listening to all of our takes and ramblings and stuff that didn't get cut out.
So much rambling.
As always, thank you, Crown Digital, Brandon, and Io for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. To me, thank you for editing, putting us on YouTube, partaking with me in the Black excellence that is The Harder They Fall.
Oh, of course. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh yeah. I'm glad you made it. Colin, thank you for waking up when we got to the news section. Obviously, you didn't see the first two movies we talked about.
Yeah.
But then, you had a whole lot to say about Dune, which was kind of surprising.
You had a whole lot to say about a number of these things.
Yeah, you talked more in the Buzz Lightyear section than I expected too. And even Firefly. Look at
And The
Colin.
Witcher.
Colin is podding. Look at that.
Would it be casting?
No, podding.
Why?
That's just what people say.
But it's based on the iPod, so casting is the verb. Casting is what you're doing. You are casting.
People say podding, Colin. I don't know. I didn't make up the phrase podding. Anyway, audience, what'd y'all think of Last Night in Soho? Are you looking forward to seeing The Harder They Fall, or are you anti-Black? Let us know in the comments, or hit us on Twitter at y'all_different, Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast, or Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC. Colin, it's not your turn. I can talk all about The Harder They Fall all day, and I will. So hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at a king named Simba, and we can talk about it some more.
For the record, no one is accusing anyone of being anti-Black. Y'all have been saying this whole thing about we're trying to be positive, and you hit people with that, it feels like a mixed message. If you're anti-Black, like if you just are, fuck off. But
Right.
not watching this movie does not make you anti-Black.
Agree or disagree? Colin, tell them where they can find
That's
you.
not. You can find me on Twitter at Duck McGuck.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram, more likely Instagram, at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled Dreemi. Tune in next time when we will be reviewing Marvel Studios' Eternals. Thanks again for joining us.
It's been different. Bye. Go watch The Harder They Fall. They're anti-black.
Nope.